We are on the outskirts of Las Vegas on Lake Mead, preparing for Heat 2A as Steve Reynolds sits in the cockpit of the 7-Eleven. Ron Snyder heading out in the Holson Miss Madison. The Oboy Oberto in the background. Ron Snyder, one of the veteran drivers, has had really quite a good year. And we're ready for Heat 2A. There are the boats, the 7-Eleven right on down the line, and we're ready to start Heat 2A. The Frank Kenny Unlimited on the inside, the starting buoy. It is a clean start. They all make it safely, and here they come now down into the south turn, looking for points to make it into the final. Ron Snyder in the Holson Miss Madison taking first place going into the first turn. He is in lane number 2 with the Frank Kenny Unlimited in lane number 1. 7-Eleven way back. They may have engine problems. The Pringles on the inside with Scotty Pierce in lane number 1. Something happened to the Frank Kenny Unlimited. In the meantime, here's your leader, Ron Snyder in the Holson Miss Madison. Second place, Mr. Pringles and Scotty Pierce. 7-Eleven slowing way down. They must have some either fuel starvation or overheating possibly of that Lycoming L7 engine. But in the meantime, Ron Snyder out of Piqua, Ohio, holding on to an outside lane, still with the lead coming down for lap number 1 on this 5-lap event. He has enough points already to really get into the final. He had 300, and he is in good shape now to make it into the final if he picks up another 400 or 300 here. Back in third, Steve Reynolds already with 400 points. He'll make the final quite easily. And the Pringles with 225 looking for another 300 here if he can hold on to second place. Ron Snyder, the man who was thrown out of that particular boat in Evansville, Indiana, took about 3-4 weeks to recover. He tried to come back only 2 weeks later to race in Tri-Cities, Washington. Went out for a couple of heats and discovered that the old body just wasn't quite ready to go at full speed in that boat. Scotty Pierce, who drove the Budweiser Griffin early in the year for owner Bernie Little, and Steve Reynolds back in the 7-Eleven. You saw the canopy hatch fly open in an earlier heat. Now it's staying buttoned down at least. And back to Snyder, the only conventional style boat still running. As I said earlier today, we're not sure if that boat will continue to campaign or not, but it's been a beauty. One of the winningest holes in history. A world champion back in the early 70s for the Pay and Pack crew, also for the Atlas Van Lines when Bill Muncie drove it. Snyder in first place on lap number 2. His speed 112 miles per hour. Ron recorded an incredible lap of 129 miles per hour down at San Diego on the salt water. A great course, and that boat was singing a tune. You just don't see that boat go that fast anymore. But Ron did a great job, and the crew did a super job to have it going that fast. Pringles, second place, the old Executone telephones. The Pringles company is going to be coming out and sponsoring a boat on the full circuit next year. And rumor has it they will be going with a turbine-powered boat. Still in first place, Ron Snyder. And the Holson Miss Madison, based out of, course, Madison, Indiana. Snyder getting a little air under the boat as he comes down the straightaway, checking his speed. 112.9 miles per hour. The Pringles at 109. Scotty Pierce seems to be happy with that second place. And he'll have 525, the point total, to get into the final heat when they'll take all 6 boats to go in to compete for the Budweiser Silver Cup. A perspective shot. Some idea of the lead, of course, for Snyder going down the back chute. One of the older drivers, but you never believe it. He is some kind of physical specimen. He's in good shape. Solid muscle. Believe me, I've tried to wrestle with him. The Pringles coming down. You saw the Frank Kenny Unlimited dead in the water. It did not complete a lap, so Milner Irvin has had a frustrating day, as has Leif Borgeson and the entire Frank Kenny Unlimited crew. They hope to campaign a boat throughout the entire 87 circuit as well, and wish them luck finding a national sponsor so they can join in the fun. Snyder coming around the turn for a final time now as he brings down the Holson Miss Madison with that turbocharged Allison engine showing the way. Down the main straightaway with an average speed of 110.9 miles per hour. Snyder the winner of Heat 2A. 400 points, 700 for the day. Second place, Scotty Pierce out of Seattle and the Mr. Pringles. 300, 525 for the day. And as you see, here are the point totals through Heat 2A. 7-Eleven getting another 225, so he's in good shape for the final. 2 boats failing to finish. Down to the pits.
Well, he's coming in with a red face, and it looks as though he took a little pounding out there. Is it as smooth as we think it is on shore?
It's as smooth as it's been all weekend so far.
Okay, so you were hitting laps about 114 mile an hour. How'd you feel? Light to you?
A little bit. We did some adjustments to it. Seems to be handling okay, but still a little light.
Coming up, a critical race between Jim Kropfeld and Chip Hanauer of the Miller American in the National Points lead. That's on deck.